The integration center hummed with nervous energy as dozens of species filled out paperwork for Earth residency. Jasmine stood in line, her iridescent scales catching the fluorescent lights, creating rainbow patterns across the sterile walls. Her clawed hand rested protectively on the shoulder of her son, a smaller dragon barely reaching her waist, his eyes wide with wonder at the strange new world. Harry sat behind desk 7, his weathered hands stamping documents with practiced efficiency. 20 years as a human soldier, another 10 as an immigration officer. He'd seen things that would make most civilians lose sleep for months. The prosthetic arm beneath his sleeve whirred softly as he reached for another form. When Jasmine reached his desk, she hesitated. Her translator chip flickered, adapting to Earth's standard language protocol. "I brought my son, is that all right?" she asked, her voice carrying the melodic undertones characteristic of her species. Harry looked up. Most officers would have seen a dragon, one of the Drax Corps, the species that had nearly glassed Earth's colonies during the frontier wars. Most would have remembered the propaganda, the burning stations, the screams over comm channels as dreadnoughts unleashed plasma fire. Harry saw a mother. "Take a seat, ma'am," he said, gesturing to the chairs across from his desk. "Both of you." Jasmine's eyes widened. Dragons didn't cry the way humans did, but her nictitating membranes flickered rapidly, a sign Harry recognized from his combat days as surprise, perhaps relief. She settled into the reinforced chair, pulling her son onto her lap despite his protests that he was big enough to sit alone. "Name?" Harry asked, stylus hovering over his datapad. "Jasmine Velcroth, and this is Ember." She squeezed her son gently. The young dragon peered at Harry with golden eyes, cautious but curious. Harry nodded, making notes. "Homeworld. Drax Prime, formerly." Her voice carried weight on that last word. "It's gone now." Harry's hand paused. He knew about Drax Prime, everyone did. The Civil War had escalated beyond anyone's predictions. When the antimatter charges detonated in the planet's core, it had taken 40 billion souls with it. The Drax Corps were now scattered across the galaxy, refugees from their own destructive tendencies. "I'm sorry," Harry said simply. Jasmine's head tilted, confusion evident. "You fought us. I can see the service markings on your uniform, the ribbon from the Kepler Station defense. Why would you—" "Because war's over," Harry interrupted, "and you're here seeking safety for your kid. That's all that matters right now." The young Ember whispered something in his native tongue. Jasmine translated. "He asks if you hate us." Harry leaned back, his chair creaking. He could have said yes. He could have told them about Martinez, his best friend, vaporized when a Drax Corps warship had targeted their medical frigate. He could have mentioned the nightmares, the phantom pain in his arm that the doctors swore was impossible. Instead, he opened his desk drawer and pulled out a worn photograph. "This is my daughter, Sophie. She's 7. He turned it so they could see. A small human girl grinning gap-toothed at the camera, holding a stuffed animal. Know what she wants to be when she grows up? Jasmine shook her head. A xenobiologist. Wants to study every species in the galaxy, learn their languages, their cultures. She doesn't know about the war. I mean, she knows it happened, but she doesn't carry it like I do." He tapped the photo. "That's the world I want her to grow up in. One where a Drax Corps kid and a human kid can be classmates, not enemies." Ember perked up at that. "There are human children here?" "Thousands," Harry confirmed. "Schools, playgrounds, sports leagues. You'll fit right in once we get you processed." Jasmine's translator struggled with the emotion in her next words. "They said humans were cruel, that you would turn us away, or worse, after what our military did." "Your military," Harry emphasized. "Not you, not him." He gestured to Ember. "I've seen too much death to add more to it out of spite. Besides," he began typing rapidly, accessing housing databases. "Earth's got a pretty good track record with second chances. We nearly wiped ourselves out a few times before we figured out how to get along." The processing took another hour. Harry pulled strings, made calls, found them a placement in New Seattle's integration district, a neighborhood specifically designed for newly arrived aliens, with translators, cultural liaisons, and most importantly, schools that specialized in multi-species education. As Jasmine stood to leave, papers clutched in her clawed hand, she paused. "I don't understand. After everything, why help us?" Harry powered down his terminal, the day's work complete. You know what I learned in the war, ma'am? That every species bleeds. Every species grieves. Every species loves their kids and wants them to have a better future. He stood, offering his prosthetic hand, a gesture of trust, showing the injury her kind had caused. Maybe that's what makes humans weird. We've got this stubborn idea that the future doesn't have to look like the past. Jasmine took his hand carefully, mindful of her claws. Her son watched the exchange with wonder. There's a community center near your new housing, Harry continued. They do a weekly thing. Families from different worlds sharing food, stories. You should check it out. I take Sophie sometimes. Perhaps we will see you there, Jasmine said softly. Yeah, Harry replied, a genuine smile crossing his scarred face. Perhaps you will. As they left, Ember turned back once, waving a small clawed hand. Harry waved back, watching them disappear into the crowd of humans and aliens moving through the center together. His supervisor approached, eyebrows raised. You know the board's going to review that placement. Draxcore were refugees, let them review it, Harry said, already pulling up the next file. I did my job. Found a family in need, got them settled. That's what we're here for, isn't it? The supervisor sighed but didn't argue. He'd learned long ago that Harry approached integration work with the same intensity he'd once brought to the battlefield. Absolutely, and with unwavering conviction in his cause. Outside, as Jasmine and Ember navigated the bustling streets of their new home, the young dragon asked his mother, Are all humans like him? Jasmine looked back at the integration center, then down at the papers ensuring their future. No, my son, but perhaps enough of them are.